Hi, I'm Dom. In case you don't know me, I've worked in Calais and on Chios, Greece, as a warehouse manager for two organisations. Back in November, I left Offer Armour on Chios and started working for Distribute-Aid in Belgrade, Serbia. In case you haven't heard of them, it's a charity that's specifically focused on the supply of aid to the frontline groups, helping to move containers of aid across the continent completely at cost, thereby freeing up money to be better spent on helping those that really need it. The main thing I've learned from working at Distribute-Aid is just a monumental effort across Europe. UK and Germany are the two biggest senders of aid, and containers are constantly being shipped to France or Greece. We've also been able to run a few other interesting shipments as well. We're currently moving 10,000 masks from LA to Calais, and also 50 laptops from Vienna down to a school in Lebanon. So yeah, loads of interesting shipments happening. On top of that, we've also been able to work on some really cool projects to really help improve the wider community. We've gone beyond just like moving aid, and now we want to ensure that when aid gets to the frontline group, that it's all useful and that it's been sorted and packaged in a really helpful way that just minimises and reduces double handling. We're developing a new standardised approach on quality checking, sorting and sizing donations that we really hope will be rolled out across Europe by both those sending and receiving aid. We've also been designing needs assessments that we'll soon start to use to help build up a clear understanding of what is and isn't needed where. There's no centralised system on how frontline groups can communicate what their needs are or indicate what aid they have that could be shared out. So we're really hoping that we can fill that void. Finally, as well, Brexit. It's obviously affected everyone who wants to ship to the EU, and donations from the UK is no different. I spent a lot of January on government websites trying to figure out what was now needed to be done at the border. And there's also, of course, the extra added complication of circumventing import taxes as we're moving humanitarian aid. I'm really happy to say that my research was compiled into a document that has been shared with the UK community. If you're interested in how to move a container's worth of second-hand clothing, check out the DA website. I'm now no longer personally doing frontline work. However, I am in a pretty unique position where I talk to each of the main regions on a pretty much daily basis. On top of that, Collective Aid have operations down here in Belgrade, and I know a few of them from my time working for Collective Aid in Calais. Having worked in each of the regions across Europe and seen the results of the European-wide policy, I suppose I'm not surprised anymore. I know how dehumanising, humiliating and illegal the policy is, whether it's the evictions in Calais or the pushbacks in Greece or the beatings by the Croatian and Romanian police officers. When I use that word illegal as well, I really mean it. These are like crimes enshrined in international law. I think the biggest takeaway from my experience today is really just, as Europe, we like to think we're really developed and far ahead of the rest of the world. We look down on other countries who conduct illegal operations, but then just don't hold anyone here to account. I personally just don't really respect European governments anymore. And the only thing that's really keeping me going is the small grassroots organisations whose combined efforts really help to make a difference. Imagine how many donations can fit inside a shipping container. And it all really does just rely on that one person donating their jacket. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, go for them.